What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I know I am. If you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You'll be force-fed Twinkies until your stomach explodes like that scene from Alien when the alien jumps out. Today's video is just gonna be like a chill story about dodgeball in PE. You know how it is, boys. I don't know, I'm just kind of vibing out. Feeling very grateful for you guys that are like loyal subs, so I figured I would just tell a funny story that might not have like the greatest clickbait ever, but I think you guys are gonna enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this kid that I knew that might have had literally the fastest reflexes that have ever existed in the history of the planet when playing dodgeball. Middle school is always rough for everybody. I don't think anyone looks back on their middle school years and is like, yeah, that's when my life peaked. And if you peak in middle school, then man, I got some bad news, bro. It's probably gonna be downhill from here, you know? Regardless, middle school was rough. I wasn't the most athletic kid in the universe. Like most of you know, the only physical activity I really did was skate a lot, which doesn't make you good at most like actual sports, you know? It's not very common. Yeah, you know, ever since I started skating, I've been way better at baseball. Like, skateboarding doesn't really make you good at a lot of sports. I'm doing air quotes. It's like a normal sport, you know? Like, skating doesn't make you better at soccer. And because of that, I didn't really like PE a ton. It wasn't something that I looked forward to every day. Especially because, for whatever reason, my counselor decided to play a cruel joke on me and put me in a PE class full of all the athletic kids that would try really hard. I had some friends that had PE the hour after me, and it was all the kids that like weren't super athletic and didn't really, you know, take PE too seriously. But for whatever reason, dude, the PE class I was in was all the kids that swore they were Tom Brady. Like, the kids in my PE class took this stuff way too seriously. I'll never forget, we were playing two-hand touch football for like this unit, which is such a joke. I don't know if your guys' PE classes would do this too. We would have units like, yo, we're gonna learn basketball for 8 weeks, and like we would just do nothing but play basketball for 8 weeks. And I mean, that's not horrible, don't get me wrong, but everyone in my class would take it way too seriously. Like, let's not forget, okay, this is definitely middle school PE, but kids would be like fighting each other. One time during two-hand touch football, kids got into a fight because one of them swore that there was an offside, like a false start penalty on the other team. In PE football, bro, it literally doesn't matter. We are like 12 years old. Why are we fighting over PE sports? Regardless, I get chunked in with all these try-hard kids, and I don't fit in very well because they're all super intense. But there was this new kid about, I don't know, like a month into the school year, and his name was Joey. And Joey was a little bit of a chunkier kid, I'm not gonna lie. That's not an insult to him. He's a cool dude, but he was a little bit bigger. He wasn't like giant, all right? The way I would describe Joey, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Gabriel Iglesias' comedy specials, okay? And he says that there's levels of chubby. Like, and I do not think in any means Joey was above like a 1. He was a little chubby, but he wasn't chubby to the point, like Gabriel Iglesias says, that when you see them walking towards the elevator, you like start pressing the close button because you're not sure if the elevator's gonna have the strength to lift you and them up. But he was just a bigger kid. He didn't look very athletic. And so most of the kids in my class who were like super athletes that thought they were gonna go pro into the NBA and now work at Foot Locker, so hey, at least they're doing something involving sports. So all the super athletic kids were pretty mean to Joey. Like, not mean, they wouldn't go out of his way, but like they wouldn't really acknowledge his existence in like a mean way. Like, if you tried to talk to them, they would just look at him and then look away, which is almost worse than just being a bully, okay? I would rather you guys call me horrible names than just pretend I don't exist personally, but apparently it worked for Joey. But he was pretty chill, so I started talking to him. And since me and him were like the two kids in the class that just didn't really, you know, vibe out with the rest of the class, we would just kind of hang out during PE, and we became friends. And there were some other kids that weren't super athletic, but they were like really not athletic kids, you know? Like, it was me and Joey as kids that could still run a mile in a pretty quick time, but just like weren't professional athletes. Whereas most of the other like non-athletic kids in our class needed inhalers to go to the bathroom because they had to walk there, you know? Like, they were really nerdy kids. So whatever, Joey and I are bros. We're just hanging out during PE talking, and you know, I come to find out that he actually plays a ton of sports out of school. I didn't know this, but the kid is actually a super athletic dude. He just doesn't look like it. He's a lineman in football, you know, like he just plays the positions where you kind of got to be a bigger dude. But he doesn't really go out of his way to flex it in PE. And anyways, one day we walk into class and like we were just playing the hockey unit or whatever, and apparently the hockey time is over. No more hockey for us. And by hockey, I mean literally running around on a tennis court with hockey sticks because it's Nevada and we don't have ice. So So as for why we had a hockey unit, who knows? It was literally like 90 degrees. We're trying to learn hockey. It just didn't work. But regardless, it ends. And we walk in, and it's a scene that I think every human being that has been to middle school knows. There's a bunch of giant red rubber balls just kind of sitting in the middle of the gym, and a very eager coach just kind of like, all right, boys, line up. And so obviously, he starts explaining that we're going to be playing dodgeball for like the next week or whatever. And basically, we're going to be able to pick teams. And he makes 2 super duper athletic kids captain, all right? Here's the thing, though. One of the athletic kids was a pretty nice guy. Like, he was super athletic, but he never was super mean and, like, would go out of his way to bully people. And the other team captain, though, was the type of kid in, like, a high school movie that throws slushies in people's faces and, like, gives you nuclear wedgies and flushes your head down the toilet. And for whatever reason, usually when you're picking teams, you go like, all right, you pick one, you pick one, you pick one, you pick one. But I think the coach low-key just wanted all the nerdy kids to get obliterated because he says, all right, you pick your team, and points at the kid who's a jerk. So he picks obviously the most athletic kids that can throw balls at like 90 miles an hour and are going to decapitate us slowly in the middle of a middle school gymnasium, which is probably the worst place to go. I can't think of a worse place than a middle school gymnasium, to be completely honest with you, except for maybe, just maybe, I don't know, the outside of the magic school bus when it shrinks and then your atoms are slowly pulled apart as Miss Fizzle screams, look guys, we're going on a trip. So the nice athletic kid is smiling. He's like, all right guys, let's do this. But his team is like me and Joey as the only kids that might be able to hit anyone with a dodgeball, and a bunch of kids that like look like they are terrified, all right? Just because they're reading history books all the time does not mean they're prepared for war. And that's what dodgeball really is when you're in middle school, dude. It's war. You're going to war. It is intense. So we split up, and the coach is like, all right, no headshots on purpose, which everyone's going to aim for the head, bro. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to throw a ball at like someone's elbow. Like, aha, I'm going to aim at the least painful place while throwing balls at each other where I can't get in trouble. This is not what happens. And within like 13 seconds of the game starting, 90% of our team is out. Every kid that you would expect to get out immediately gets out, and people are getting nailed in the face. One kid's glasses get broken, and the coach is like, hey, no headshots, while like reading a magazine in the corner, like just not paying attention. So at this point, it is me, our athletic team captain dude, and Joey versus 8 people on the other team that are left. We did get like 1 or 2 out, luckily. And so it's not a very good situation. I'm not great at dodgeball. I mean, I'm probably like slightly better than the average person would be, but that's not saying a lot. So we're kind of sitting there, and it feels like the movie 300 where the Spartans are fighting the Persian army, because it's just like us 3 versus this group of people with balls. So we're sitting there, and I throw the ball that I have in my hand, and I get one person out, and I'm hyped, bro. And I look at Joey, I go, let's go. And as I'm saying let go, I feel like the wind around my head, kind of change. And the next thing I remember is just kind of like stumbling backwards, and my face hurt, and I hear a ball bouncing, and I look, and the kid who was like in charge of their team that's being a jerk is like out, and my face is like numb, on the cheek where I just got smacked with the ball. So I look at Joey, my captain, I go, sorry, and they're like, no, it's good, at least you got one. So I walk off, and I'm sitting there watching, and basically what I witness is some next level reflexes, okay? The super athletic kid ends up getting 2 people out, and then he gets nailed in like the chest while trying to jump over a ball. So it was going to his head, but he manages to get hit in the chest. So he walks off, and now it's like 5 people versus just Joey. And like I said, Joey looks like a pretty big target, It doesn't look like mathematically it seems like a good idea to have more of you that they can hit. And so I'm pretty sure that it's over, we're going to have to go round 2. And then I just, I witness greatness, okay? So the first guy throws a ball, and Joey like does a spin move. And as he's spinning, he puts his hand behind his back, catches the ball with one hand, and goes, you're out, points at our athletic teammate, and comes, you're back in. So our athletic guy gets up, and now it's like a 4v2. And as much as I would love to say that those two like did something great, actually no, Joey does even better. So what happens is the athletic guy throws another ball, and the person that he just got out comes right back in because somebody catches the ball the athletic kid threw. So he does literally nothing, you know. Thanks a lot, team captain. So we're back in a 5v1. Joey's still looking fly. I'm still kind of impressed by the fact that this man just did a spinning one-arm catch like Bruce Lee catching a cannonball versus some pirates. And all 5 of them kind of realize that like they probably got to take it seriously. They can't goof off. So they decide that they're going to throw 3 balls at once. I don't know why they just didn't throw 5. So they go ahead and they cock back and they throw all 3 balls at once. And I don't know if Joey had just been watching Netflix since the age of 3 and on Netflix had just watched nothing but The Matrix on repeat. Because I'm telling you, this man stopped time and adjusted his body in the most like out of nowhere thing that I've ever seen. It's like, imagine a 300-pound man just becomes a ballerina that can catch a bullet with chopsticks, dude. He like jumps up, lifts one leg over one ball, like spins, reflexes out of nowhere. I don't even know how it's possible to process information that quickly, let alone like contort your body when you weigh as much as a small cow. And at this point, our entire team and everybody watching is just like cheering him on because even if you're gonna lose, dude, this fat kid is destroying you at dodgeball with matrix skills and reflexes made out of nothing but tensile strength and swag. The amount of swag dripping off of Joey as he proceeds to like walk up to the 3 balls, dodge another ball as he's stepping up to throw and nails one of them in the face is just incredible, dude. It's like, imagine, all right, it's the bottom of the 9th, the World Series, and here comes a man with a balloon animal and he knocks it out of the park. And I'm not kidding when I say that Joey proceeds to win the round of dodgeball by himself. And obviously the coach even was watching, and like after that round everybody was like, oh my god, that's crazy. But it only took about 10 minutes. I've never seen Joey have such flash reflexes, dude. It was impressive. And he was always good at dodgeball, all right? Like, for the rest of the time we played dodgeball that week, every other game that day, he was incredible. It was just like watching somebody in their element, dude. I've never seen somebody with reflexes that good, even to this day. The way he would just snatch balls out of the air, that's what she said, and just like nail kids in the face, it was just dope. I'm not gonna lie, it was very impressive. Joey ended up moving after that year though, which kind of sucks, but I will always remember him as the absolute legend that was nasty at dodgeball when nobody thought he would be. But on that note, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. I know this video is kind of pointless, but like, I don't know, I just kind of like vibing with you guys, telling stories. Today's notification shout out goes to the very swag, the Ant-Man813. Thank you for having on notifications. If you want notifications shout out, turn it on. Send a screenshot to my Instagram at Scrubby. And I would do a Twitter question, but I don't want this video to be 13 minutes because I'm pretty sure that's bad luck. So don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. The Twitter question will be back tomorrow, I promise. And the question was, what's the cringiest thing you've ever witnessed? So leave a comment if you want. I'm out. Peace.